Yo, so when are you actually planning to start touring, man? When am I gonna see you in the city near you?
I think we're looking at like getting my visa sorted for like starting summer type thing. So hopefully by then, fingers crossed if all goes well.
Are you gonna be by yourself, or are you touring with someone else? Are you gonna be part of something? Like, can't say much.
We gotta sort the visa still right this second. So like there's no locked in plans yet. We're just working on getting that going. But I'm just excited to get back over there.
Yo, and let me ask you, like, when is it that you actually started having your own representatives? You know, because you said that everything like basically took off like right, during Cymatics era. That's when you actually started getting represented. Or you had it before?
Yeah, I guess I linked up with an agent and manager like properly. I guess it probably would have been 2018. Yeah, 2018-ish, I think, is when that started happening. And that's when I started like touring in the States like more heavily and stuff. So yeah, 4 years ago now. I'd been doing it for like a while since then too.
Touring or producing overall?
Like I had been just like in the
scene,
in the game for a while, like doing this shit for like 6 years or something before I like linked up with a team that was actually like good.
And what was the first thing that you actually started? Like, what started off for you to go ahead with that? Was it just dubstep, or there was something else that you started off?
Yeah, I was strictly doing dubstep the entire time. That was the only thing I made ever, always.
That's pretty dope. And then just evolve into what you're doing right now, which is like, I've seen that you have a huge more variety of music, which is pretty dope. Especially the last song that you just released, which is like completely something different that I've ever heard from you.
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, so it was like right at the start of the pandemic, I guess. I just started I've been doing this for like so long, the exact same thing over and over again, which was like making a dubstep song, and then like maybe it would do well, maybe it wouldn't, kind of thing. I just got like so bored with it. So I just started like me and my homie Conus started like doing like hip hop vocals on all of our own tracks. And then I eventually just started doing like some hip hop tracks by myself. And then like I started doing a lot more melodic shit. And so like now I've been making like a lot of hyper pop, and like I've been doing like just some kind of almost like straight poppy kind of songs. Like this last song I just put out, Getaway, I feel like pop punk type shit, but like mixed with bass music, because like we had U's on the production. So it was like I'm just like, and I still be making like just straight dubstep songs. I got like an EP at the end of the month coming out that there's no vocals on them, nothing. They're just like my older shit kind of. So a lot of kids would be happy about that, because like I find that like dubstep is like, a lot of dubstep fans are like very, very like, they love this shit so much. Like they live, breathe, sleep this shit, which is incredible. It's great. But a lot of the time, those kids also are not the most open-minded on the internet and shit. And I don't see it with my own. Well, I mean, I did with my own shit when I really started up and like dropping some shit that was completely different. Like I saw like my numbers still, like the amount of like followers I lost and shit was like, just because when I did drop that shit, they like were like, yo, what the fuck? Like I'm out. Rather than just like, wait, I'll still be putting out some dubstep shit. But like, so a lot of kids really don't fuck with things that are not necessarily just dubstep, which I get. Like that's all cool, do your thing. But like, and I also see that like I'm just on so many other artists, like SoundClouds and shit. Like these kids are ruthless. Like, or they love it so much, or they just like fucking hate it. Like they won't just scroll past it type shit. Like they finna let you know, like this is the worst shit ever. Like go back to doing your own shit. Oh my
god.
Like, kids are like, I see it everywhere. Kids are just like, I mean, I see it mostly in the bass music scene because that's what I'm in. Like all my social shit are very much tailored around that. But like, yeah, man, kids, like, I mean, I don't even know why I keep saying kids. Like,
well, there are kids to us, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm old as fuck, but all these grown ass adults just on the internet, like they just be ruthless with if they don't like shit, whether it be my song or someone's, I don't know, outfit pick or their DJ Twitter video, or I mean, shit's just crazy out there. So
yeah, I stopped paying attention to the comments overall. I really do not give a shit. That was my first mistake when, back in 2012, when, I got myself heated with somebody, with a fake ass DJ from back home. I really, really let it loose, and it backfired me because a lot of people that was about to link up and do some wonderful shit, they backed down because of that. Shit that was
a beast.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, so these are like the consequences. Like, all right. After that, I was like, I ignore every shit. Like, even though I see that sometimes I see the haters because they're the loudest, I just ignore it. I just go like, thumbs up, guys.
Yeah.
Because hey, your biggest hater is your biggest fan. People
makes sense to me at all.
People say like, "What the fuck?"
My biggest hater fucking sucks. I hate that guy.
Hear me out. Hear me out. People say like, "The fuck is wrong with you, Wolf?" And stop talking conspiracy theory shit. I'm like, hear me out. Hear me out. So you got your biggest hater commenting every single post or every single song of yours, say that it sucks, that you suck, and whatever. Little do they know that it's only improving your stats even more. Because two things. One, it improves your stats because every comment counts. Whether it's good or bad, it counts in your resume with your song or whatever. It counts. And every time they listen to it, it counts. So statistically, they're listening and coming on your shit. They're interacting, which is helping the algorithm to put more shit on that person and everyone else who associates with that person. People don't know about this in technology, but I'm in this world, so I know how shit works. The second thing is, this is the most crucial, and you're gonna be like, oh, okay. Why I say that your biggest hater is your biggest fan? Why is it that he takes his time and energy to come into your shit and post and comment? Why? If he really hates you as he says he does, he would have just like block you and not say anything about you, or just like ignore you completely. Because that's how you normally hurt an artist, when you become irrelevant in a way, like you're nothing, But if they're constantly commenting and saying shit and they're always on point on every song, on everything, are you really a hater of mine? Because you're taking your sweet time to say how much you don't like my song, but you're like, you took your time to listen to my song.
I feel like they still a hater. They just bored as fuck.
Well, obviously, they're just a bunch of crybabies. They're stuck in the mommy's basement and shit, and sucking on mommy's titties and shit. Like, absolutely, but they're literally taking their energy and their time to pay attention to you.
I mean, people just be bored on the internet. Really.
They be bored, but they could be bored with like, I don't want to pay attention to you. It's like, nah, I'll scroll you over. Fuck you, or block you. They could just easily block you. If they really hate your music and they really do not want to listen to it, just block, unfollow. You're never going to see you ever again. So why is it that you keep coming back to me?
Yeah, people just be on that shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a love-hate relationship for us, it's just more of a, all right, it's just a number. It just so happened that number happens to be the loudest, and it's the one that's affecting us, which it shouldn't be affecting us. We should never like outweigh the hate with all the good love that we receive, But sometimes we think about that stuff, but it's not easy. I tell you, it took me a while. Now I just embrace it. I just like, all right, you're not literally stopping me for not doing what I love to do. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I'm still making music. I'm still podcasting. I'm still playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm still doing everything that I love. You're not stopping me just because you don't like me. It's like, nah, bro. I'm keep it going, you know? I keep it going until you get yourself bored, even until you get more bored about me. But
That's real. You're real for that.
Get real for that, bro. And dude, I have to ask, did you actually dig out a backlash from the song that you just released?
No, this one's been chill. I mean, for the most part, definitely just like when I first had started dropping a bunch of like different styles, there's definitely a lot of kids that were like, hey, yo, what the fuck is this shit? Which, I mean, like, fair enough. But obviously it never feels good when you see that shit. But
Nah,
it's what it is. It's just yeah.
You just learn to ignore it. You learn to ignore it because you're gonna see them, but you learn like don't let that shit get into your head. You know, like don't let it ruin the day just because one dumbass says like, you have no artistic art. I'm like, okay, go ahead and do it yourself. I'm waiting. You can go ahead and start. You know.
Yeah,
but that's well for me to hear that we're still battling with that shit. I thought we moved past that. I thought we moved past the point in which it's no longer a taboo for a bass producer to explore other shit and do other shit, you know? I thought we left that when the whole Getter Terror Rage shit happened, you know? Because I'm seeing a lot of bass producers who are dabbling into the housing or exploring other genres.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, like, I definitely did start like dropping a bunch, like from a strictly dubstep producer to start dropping like hip hop songs and like other weird like songs. Like, I get it. It's like completely different. So, I mean, like, as surprised as I was, like, I wasn't overly surprised. So, I mean, like, I get it, but I mean,
did we throw this much hate when Skrillex did his switcheroo?
To what? Which switch he do?
I mean, we all know Skrillex started with the whole dubstep thing, and then he started switching out to little Mumba, little festival trap, and then switching to house and the Jack U experiment. And now he's all pure house and no dubstep. Like, did we really hate Skrillex throughout his entire trajectory when he was doing all those switches?
There was definitely a time where, I mean, kids were really starting to be like, yo, what the fuck? Drop some more dubstep. He's definitely like kind of getting shit on for a little bit when he started switching up. But then I think people just actually started listening to his songs as just songs rather than like this expectation of like, yo, where's Scary Monsters again? Like the exact same thing. But I mean, his shit was always just so consistently good. I don't remember that time frame being like overly long because also like I was looking at it from the dubstep scene. So I mean, as much as the dubstep kids were getting pissed off, like Skrillex was getting fans from like everywhere else musically because like he's making records. Jack U stuff is just like the biggest thing in the world at the time. Like, so I mean, Skrillex the GOAT for real.
No, straight up, man. And when he goes hard, man. I was so happy that I met that guy 3 times in my lifetime. I thought I was never gonna meet him, and he's smaller than you think.
He's tiny. I met him too. I met him in like 2011.
Damn, that's what's up.
Yeah, he's tiny.
He tiny. What were your expectations when you met Skrillex for the first time?
I mean, I've like never really been like the type to kind of be starstruck or like freaked out when I met anyone. But I mean, just from what I had seen from him on the internet, he's met him, and I just would have been 18 at the time. But he was just super nice, super chill, really nice dude. He played. I seen him that night at like the big venue. He was on the Mothership tour.
Oof.
It was like him and 12th Planet.
Oof.
This was right when like he was touring Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites still.
Right.
Yeah. So like that was like right when he was just fully doing like, I think it was like his first tour. And then at the after party was like this tiny venue, 12th Planet. And it was just like, it was wild. for me to be 18. And I was like, shit, so crazy. But I didn't really have much expectation of meeting him, chill guy, for that, 60 seconds or something.
Yeah. I mean, do you actually have like any sort of like heroes or people that you look up in the industry that inspire you to do what you're doing, man?
Not really, honestly. I don't really have like I mean, there's a lot of people that I just look up to in a million different ways, and like a lot of people that I respect for like a million different reasons. I never really had like a one single kind of like, I want to be like that guy type thing. I basically like respect anyone who's like doing some shit that they love and they're not fucking with anyone's shit, and that they look out for their people. Like I respect anybody, whether it's directly in music or outside who's doing that. But like, I mean, I look up to like, I mean, not even just artists, like really. So I don't really have like names off the top of my head.
I could definitely give you like at least my three that make me start dubstep or bass overall. Skrillex is definitely one of them. I cannot put you which one's like the number one. Like it's just these three. It's Skrillex, Zomboy, and Rob Swire from Knife Party and Pendulum.
Yeah, those are good answers. When did you start making music? Like dubstep?
Dubstep or music?
Dubstep. What year did you start like listening to that and make?
So I've been listening to dubstep.
I guess like who are the first dubstep artists that you heard? Like the first three?
Oh yeah, the Skrillex and Zomboy were my first dubstep artists. Afterwards, I found out Pendulum.
Man, you came in late then. Holy shit.
No, I came late in the party. That's for sure. It was like around 2010, 2011 is what I actually, got myself involved with bass overall, because I was always my first music or first EDM track was Tiesto's Adagio for Strings. That was my first song, and that was like back in 2006. Yeah. Back in 2006. I was still in high school at that time. That was the first time. And I was introduced to trance, Armin, Paul Oakenfold, Paul Van Dyke, Carl Cox, Ferry Corsten. Yeah, like Armin van Buren, Tiesto on his trance days. Like that was my first open to EDM. And then afterwards, as the year goes, I started listening to deadmau5. I fuck with deadmau5 a lot, and his style of music was completely different. And then David Guetta came about, so I got hooked up with the whole mainstream bug house music. Avicii, my God, rest in peace to that legend. I love Avicii. He was born the same year I was born. He was my age. And it was around that time that I was listening to Avicii that, yeah, Skrillex came about, because Skrillex did the Labels remix. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And that just like blew my mind away, bro. After that, I found out about Zomboy, found out about Never Say Die. Then I found out about the dark dubstep days when it was just, Incision, the Datsig. Who else did I found out back then, I remember that I went to EDC Puerto Rico, and there was like all these people were in the lineup. There was like Moby was in the lineup, Pendulum. It was the first time I heard Pendulum, and that was when they released their Immersion album, which masterpiece to me. And that's where I heard Andy C, Excision, That's Sick, 12 Planet came about in Puerto Rico, Infected Mushroom, Dirty Phonics. When Dirty Phonics were 4 guys.
Yeah, and that's dope.
And they came to Puerto Rico like 4 fucking times in the same year, because everybody fucking loved Dirty Phonics. That's when, I was listening to dubstep and I was getting involved with it. But me starting producing dubstep overall wasn't until late 2014, 2015 when I met Needy. That's when in fact, it's because of Needy that he actually pushed me to go ahead and try it out. Because in a way I was scared. I was scared because it's like, how the fuck you do this? Like there's so many weird shit that you do here. And house is just simple. House is just melodies, find a nice preset, and that's it. That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
Dubstep is much more complicated. That's much more of a masterpiece, there's so many details and so many things in around it. And then he pushed me into it and helped me learn dubstep in the beginning days and got me, my first collab with my homies Big and Slim. Shout out to those guys, And we hit that first collab and we released it on EDN.com, which at the time was dubstep.net. And
yeah. Oh, that's great shit, man. That was the glory days.
Glory days. And let me tell you, I was so ecstatic because dubstep.net had the sickest tracks I've ever heard in my life back in 2011, 2012, although that little era, because that was like the first introduction of melodic dubstep overall. That's where AU5 started it. Fucking Venture Club started with the remix, the Cravey remix. Fucking
I was back to, like I remember I did some releases too. That was back when if you did like a release with dubstep.net, like, because that was also when they started doing like the download with follow gates.
Yeah, exactly.
If you had a release with dubstep.net, like you maybe get like 5,000 to 10,000 followers on your SoundCloud. Like if your shit do good, because that's back still kids were like actually. Like that was before the streaming era had completely took over.
Yeah.
Like kids wanted to download songs all the time. Plus so many kids were DJing. So like that was a huge deal. Like you'd get so many followers from these download gates.
Exactly. Dude, that was like the era for me because that's where I found about ISO, I found Fractal, I found Party Ghost, Spook at that time, bro.
I remember AU5 and Fractal, like I mean, I still see AU5 doing shit. I think Fractal wrapped it up at some point, but I remember those two guys. I also played with AU5 both years. He played right after me.
Yo, that's fire.
But AU5, I like said all the time, I'm sure he's even better now, but he was always like hands down best producer I'd ever heard. Like his mix downs, his sound design, his melody. His shit was on some shit. I've never heard nobody making music like him. So shouts Austin. He's a really nice dude. It's always nice when I do get to run into him.
Wholesome person. Yes. He is still killing it. Because
he also like the smartest fucking dude on the earth, I swear. Like when you see him do videos talking about production, or back when when I was coming up a long time, me and him were talking all the time. And I would ask him questions about sound design or whatever, and like, he was just on some shit, like next level.
I was able to be a beta taster for one of his masterclass with Donation. Shout out to Wyatt for that. Thanks to him. I was just beta testing to see how it goes, see how it is. He gave me the full access to one of his master classes. I think I forgot what was the song. There was a song he released not too long ago, last year. Yo, the way he explained every single one of them, and when he was creating it, I was just like, what the fuck? This is gold shit. This is like a gold mine. It's like I'm literally eating up everything he's telling me. Dude, not too long ago, the whole Odd Prophet Twitter shit, I don't know if you noticed that he was complaining about the super sauce. Start learning some sound design instead of super sauce.
Yeah, that's Odd Prophet though. That man is consistently stirring shit up on Twitter.
For no reason at all.
Fucking with people. That's just his thing.
But hey, it gets people to talk to him.
Yeah, he's a wicked producer. I think it's funny the amount of fucking shit he be saying on that app, because I don't give a fuck. I'm not taking anything personally. I think maybe he likes the reaction, or he kind of seemed like, I was just saying that I think he like genuinely seems like he like all the shit he be tweeting, like it seemed legit to me. That seems like that's the kind of guy he is. He does not give a fuck. So I mean, I think it's funny.
I feel like he's a little bit of both. Like he actually is like that doesn't give a fuck, but at the same time he's strategic and smart on knowing when to say these type of stuff and cause like.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
like he's a mastermind. Like he knew exactly what he was getting into because, like I said, everybody was talking about him, whether it was good or bad. It don't matter. You're talking about him. Algorithms are just gonna point it out to you, and now people are just gonna start listening to you even more and getting more people to agree with you or disagree with you. It just starts to pop. It just opens up Pandora's box overall and say, well, I embrace anything that comes right now. That's how he is. But I have the privilege to talk to him a few times, and especially during some feedback sessions and teaching people like how to do certain things and whatnot. And yeah, he's that type of guy. He'll tell you straight up, like, dude, like get original. Like for real. Like this is not original. Like do something that's completely different. Like I don't want to hear any presets. Like I want to hear something original and shit. That's not me. It was telling to other people that I know. I was just like, whoa, like, and you know what? I fuck with it. I fuck with it. The fact that he's at least blunt and honest about it. But at the same time, I feel like there's better ways to be blunt and honest about it. You don't have to be like cussing somebody out, you know? But,
yeah, that's fat.
But that's just him, you know? I mean, he found his formula. He knows what he's doing. But even circling back, like AU5, Austin, with the whole debacle, he actually produced a super saw chord on his YouTube channel, and that shit blew the fuck up. Like he says, like, oh, if you got Ableton and all you need is super saws, you know, this is all you need, and blah. In 10 minutes, you can do this super saw, slap it on every project you got if you're doing saw chords and shit or with that. And I saw it, I was just like, dude, how the hell? How
emotional, damn it.
How you find out about this? How you did this? What are you doing?
Yeah, he's great. Austin he's just a wizard with that shit.
Like, yeah. But good old times. But that's, you know, that's the times in which I started taking dubstep more seriously. And after that first release, I feel like I had to like, okay, I proved myself I did something. Now I have to like prove it that I'm still part of it. And then if you check out my SoundCloud, you can see like there's like so much music in there that like I can personally tell you is like half of the shit that I made is whack as fuck. I was like, I don't know what the hell was I thinking when I did this, but I don't regret it and I'm proud of it, because it just shows you my trajectory to see how much I improved to where I am right now, where right now, anything that I do right now is original to the teeth. Well, there's no T on the original. You know what I mean. But everything is original. The sound design is original. Like I can, and it circles back to the whole resampling that I keep telling people is like, yo, if you guys want to sound unique to your sounds and not sound like anything else or anyone else, resample the fuck out of any sound. Like it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to create the wildest shit ever, but if you manage to destroy the original sound and it doesn't sound like anything like the original and it still sounds dope, then you fucking did it. You just need to use that sound and just kill it, you know? And that's exactly what I did with any project that I'm currently doing. Well, right now I'm gonna stop because I got too many interviews that I'm interviewing and I'm editing, especially this one. I'm way fall behind on the editing possibly. Again, I'm a one-man army. But I do say, like, once I'm all caught up, I do want to continue working on my EP, which is like, I feel like it's gonna be like the most Wolv1n1te you could ever hear about. Like you can see like how much I've progressed for what I started to where I am. And the whole concept, I call it the like the show Lone Wolf EP, but the concept of the EP itself goes beyond that, because half of the songs of the EP are all happy, melodic stuff. And then the other half is like hard, nasty, gnarly shit. And then the whole artwork that I'm planning is like half, I still don't know what it is of the artwork, but I know that half of it is all white and the other half is all dark, just to show you like hope and despair, pain and like joy, suffering and what was the other? I'm sorry. Hold on. I had it right here in my notes because it was just like something I was so proud of. Yeah, it was pain and pleasure. Because I always go about what's the opposite of one thing? What's the opposite of hope? Despair. What's the opposite of despair? Hope. So you can actually read about it. The whole EP is more of a storytelling that you can see how much I was in pain into how much shit I was dealing to the point where I am hopeful and I'm happy and now I'm this. So the whole EP is like I see it as of like this is some Lord of the Rings type shit. From beginning to end, this is what's happening. And here are the doings. And that's the vision I'm having with it. And I cannot I cannot wait until I finish editing all these interviews because I got like 20 interviews. I mean 20 interviews that I have to edit.
Sheesh.
Yeah. I'm blessed, man. I'm just happy and blessed that I managed to get these I'm happy and blessed that I was able to get people over to the show and they say, "Yeah, I'm down to it," and have a sit down with me. I am always grateful and appreciative of everyone that sits in front of me in the screen. It's just, it's there's no better feeling than that, honestly. And I never intended to start the podcast to be like this. I intended the podcast to be like, let me do this on my own. Let me just give my thoughts, talk about my experience, talk about, what's going on, this and that. And somehow halfway there, it just worked out and became this whole interview conversation with people, And the cool thing about it is like I met so many people from different backgrounds, from different states, different countries, people who are dope producers from Greece, from Czech Republic, fucking France, Spain, here in the States, here in Canada, like here in South Florida. Like I met so many people and I'm still getting people to come over, man. And I'm just happy to have these conversations with everyone. It's the greatest joy ever. One thing that Mark Tengraves asked me in our last interview, he asked me this question, which is I was like, wow, that was actually a good one for him to ask me. He says, like, if you were able to quit right now with the podcast, would you be satisfied about it? Would you be happy about it? Or would you kept it going? And I gave him, that's a very complex answer to give you because you know what? I'll be happy to quit the podcast right now because I actually succeeded my mission. I'm helping somebody, helping the local people, helping somebody to get to somewhere. I became the bridge, the voice for that person. I can say, you know what? I did something good. I'm happy that I did it. But I do not want to stop because I want to continue helping people out, give them the voice that they deserve, that they should be, they should be. If they put in the word, they should have that,
Hell yeah.
And that's how I'm viewing it, So I'm always grateful the fact that, people who sit down and start having conversations with me, man, I'm grateful and I'm appreciative. And I always want to say that. And I want you to always know that, I'm very grateful and happy that we were able to sit down, man.
Oh, hell yeah, man. No, I appreciate you having me. Yeah.
It's great, man. We're still far from being over from this conversation, actually. We're just getting a little bit more started now. Now we're getting some fire grills on it. The gears shift out, and there's some things that I always eager to ask you about that I, someone that's been in the scene a long time. I feel like a lot of people will take notes about some of the stuff, and they should, coming from someone from your perspective. Now, one of the things that I do want to ask you is when it comes to when you finish your projects and you decide, all right, I'm gonna release this. What are the first thoughts that am I releasing this independently or am I sending this to a demo? Like, what am I doing with this song?
Yeah, I hardly be working with right now. I didn't feel like the last 2 years, like I've done the label thing. Like I work with some really great labels, with really trash labels. Most of them I did not like the way they ran. So yeah, I just started doing all my own shit, like independent. And I mean, obviously, like some labels are great for a lot of different reasons, but a lot of the time when you're working with them, you also end up giving up a lot of, shit.
Mm,
Like, never mind a percentage of royalties and shit, but you potentially giving up a bunch of like creative control with like the record itself, or other parts of the project. Maybe you want to do some visual concept or something, and they can basically. So I mean, I just got to a point where I was like, I
fuck
don't
it.
like this. I'm about to
Yeah.
just do this for myself. So
Yeah, and you get or 100% of your shit. That it's all
yeah,
yours.
exactly.
Some
Yeah,
something that people don't really do not comprehend. Like they literally do not understand what it is to actually own your masters and own total creative control of your music.
yeah. That was great. I mean, that's the best.
Now, would you recommend somebody to like, yo, like you're releasing some hot shit, like it's like, damn, it's fire. Would you recommend them like go ahead and release it independently, or you should send demos to the labels?
I mean, everybody's situation, every song is going to be different. So if it makes sense at the time for you, like if you're an artist fan base, but the label's got ears, obviously that's a great thing. Like if you're cool to do whatever they're looking for, like to do that, then obviously for your situation, that's great. If you're already popping and like
Mm,
a label approaches you and you look at it as like, I'm not really sold on what they're offering, and I'm already,
oh yeah.
obviously I'm going to recommend keep doing your own thing. 'Cause at that point, like if you're already killing shit and a label's approaching you, it's probably just because they're trying to have a bite of what you've already got. I mean, it's rare these days that, I mean, you still do see it. Honestly, a lot of like bass music known for, they definitely put a lot of smaller people on and risks with signings and shit. But also a lot of other bigger labels and stuff. Even when you get outside of dance music, like you see so many kids blowing up completely by themselves now through like whatever else, and they'll grow these fucking huge, incredibly loyal fan bases completely themselves, and then you'll, rather than these labels actually fucking with what they're doing,
Mm,
like from the get go. Like now they're coming in and they're being like, "Yo, we think we should work because like you're already killing shit. We know it's gonna continue to kill shit." But like it's rare to see, artists or like managers and shit start with somebody right now who's got jack shit for following or numbers, but they're like, "Yo, I'm not trying to take a bite of what you got going on because shit going on right now, but I'm still gonna either sign you and put you, like I believe in what you're doing for what you're doing,
mm.
not because you're making money or whatever." That's how like you got the right hands in your pockets, kind of thing.
That's actually a good way to look at it. I'm very, very, very not. I'm not anti-label. I just, I just. It's the fact that I know how labels run, and I know A&Rs, and I know how they work. I just encourage people not to make your dream to be on a label. Maybe a goal, maybe it's something, like an achievement, like, ooh, I did it here, but it shouldn't be like, oh yeah, the one fit I'm gonna do it once, because once you get there, and
Yeah,
and I always tell people is like, dude, like I know how these labels run now, and excuse me, nowadays. Now it's just even harder to get on a label. People say it's easier. Yeah, it's easier if you said it like you said it. If you have a strong social media pool, you have a strong sense, you have a lot of people liking and commenting all your shit, obviously labels will take advantage of it and they'll take a notice of it and say, hey, you got any songs? Hey, come over and send it over. But obviously, because they want some of your fans to their fans, they just want a piece of you to hear.
oh yeah, for sure.
And that's why I always tell people is like, yo, like you shouldn't be looking for people. People should be looking at you. That's whether it's looking if you need a team like a manager, an agent, a publicist, or a label, like you shouldn't be looking out for them. They should be looking at you, because if they feel like, holy shit, you're making moves, then they should come to you. You shouldn't have to prove them like, oh yeah, I can actually do that, because it's not a risk that they're willing to take at the moment.
Yeah,
They kind of want something that's already on a package deal. Like they want everything all in one package. Like you got everything, that's all we need, and we take it from there. They're done with the whole, they're done with the whole yeah, I need to build your career, need to build you up, need to do this and that. Like, nah, they need stuff like this. Like, we need this right now. If you're not selling shit, if you're not moving shit, we're not interested. That's why I tell people is like, don't waste your time on sending demos to these labels. It's, like, it shouldn't be like that. And most of the time when you send demos to these labels they usually go to the spam folder.
yeah, it can't be like that.
It
I
can't.
stopped doing that shit years ago. I'm not really stressing about that.
Mhm. And now you're releasing all your music independently, and you're getting great results, and people still want to fuck with you even more. And I'm pretty sure that labels to this day, they're still trying to hit you out, say, "Yo, yeah, you want to release some here and there."
Honestly, I feel like I just kind of stopped replying to all that shit and shit out, and especially like since I've been doing a lot of like different not dubstep things, like
Right.
I don't really have like these labels be hitting me up for shit anymore. Like most people know I be doing my own thing.
That's dope, man. So when you actually do release a song of yours, like how does it work? Like, what is the plan? It's like, okay, I got a date. What is it that I got to do before the release of it?
I just do my normal shit. Like once it's off to distro stuff. Well, at that point, I've already got like the artwork and stuff done up. So it's just kind of the process of there's really not that much shit. Just get artwork done.
Really? So you don't do much of the marketing plan. You just like, hey, here's something that's coming up this date, and that's it.
No. Well, yeah, I get the artwork and shit done first, but then I just kind of figure out whatever kind of role and whatever, if I want to do any type of visual, I still be doing them now. Just kind of decide exactly what I want the whole rollout to be type thing. Lock all that shit down. I mean, I still also notice a lot of promo and shit on SoundCloud and like Spotify and stuff. So I don't have to stress as much about that shit. But then I just do all the like video and social shit. And then just kind of go from there. So, but I'm also I do that shit all completely myself.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's a blessing that you can still like just say, hey, I'm dropping something, and everybody's gonna be like, holy shit, we can't wait. Like, holy shit, and everybody's gonna listen to it. Everybody's gonna stop what they're doing and gonna listen to it. That's great, man. Because a lot of artists, like especially up and comers, they feel like, oh man, I need to do a whole planning schedule, and I need to plan what am I doing, visually, a video. I need to give teasers, get this and that. You just like don't put that much fun. You just like, hey, I'm releasing this, and there you go.
Well, I still do all that shit. Like it's just kind of just become so normal that it's just like I kind of throw in the calendar, decide whatever needs to be done. But yeah, there's always how you use it and how you want to work it in. Like, I mean, back when touring was the thing. Like, if you want to tour around a song or an EP or something, how to kind of brand that tour around that type shit. But I just been on the internet for a really long time. It's like I wasn't really always wanting to hit other people up to figure out how to do shit. So I just figured out a lot of this stuff like I would just from being on the internet. But yeah.
And how long does it actually take you to finish a project of yours?
I have no idea. I mean, I'd be like working on so much different shit now. It's like I haven't sat down and written a start to finish dubstep track in I don't know. It's been like months now. Like I've done some like collabs and shit, but I mean, I can like when I'm like really on it, like I gotta be in the booth and like recording and shit, and like working with other producers and shit. But like if I'm having a good day, I can do like 3 songs in a day if I'm recording shit, like full decent, like full ideas. Like some mornings if I get up and like go fuck around on my phone, I can get songs done before lunch type thing. But I mean, some days also I don't get anything done, and then that one day comes like 2 weeks where you don't get shit done. I mean, if I'm like on it, I can like really focus and write songs quickly. Whether it's like, because I was even kind of quick making like dubstep tracks before as well.
Right.
But all kind of depends on like where my head's at, if I'm able to lock it.
And something that you did mention earlier, like that during the pandemic time, you basically release a single every 2 weeks. Like how that shit went about? You just like say like, all right, it's good, let's just release it, bam, for a whole year.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like I still got so much finished songs that like I don't know if they'll
Get a release.
I mean, yeah, during the pandemic, that's all I was doing. I was making songs every single day. I thought that I was kind of slower at writing dubstep tracks. Well, I know I was, because like I would finish a song, but then I'd spend like 2-3 months like fucking with the mix down, because like I was always stressing on my mix downs. So I was like, okay, well, that's not gonna be the move. So I would always I would always write just like a fuckload of like half songs, like an intro and then 16 bars of a drop. And I just like hit up all my homies, be like, yo, who wants to collab? And they'd be like, yeah, I do. I just send a playlist and be like, pick one. Like, you have more than half a song, just finish it. Like, I don't need to go back and forth nonstop. Like, let's just make songs. So I would send like 10 of these out at a time. So I'd be like at home working on one solo track, but I would also have like 10 of my homies working on collabs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I just always had so much shit like that. If I wasn't finishing, I had someone else. Yeah. I could whip up like good ideas relatively quickly, relatively consistently. I just wouldn't finish them. So I always thought my homies mixed down shit were better too. So I'm here, like, you finish this one, use as much of it as you want. Yeah. Crazy. No, but so that helped a lot with how quickly I could put out music every 2 weeks. Right. Also, like some of the hip hop songs, if I wasn't producing, like not taking me as long. But yeah, I put out a fuck ton of music.
And were you always a vocalist? Like, were you always like into vocals and shit?
No, never. That's always like what I wanted to do, like, since I was a little kid. But like I never did it because I was always like fucking scared of that shit. Right. So I never learned how to do it. I just started doing it right at the start. Right. And then it's like I really enjoy it now more than like being in the production side of things. I still really like both of them, but I get more out of the vocal side of shit.
No, I feel it. I feel the energy, when you throw down the vocals. Like, I feel like how passionate. Like, maybe I'm talking shit about it, but I know that song that we collaborated, like when I heard you for the first time, because I never thought you were even a vocalist. I didn't even knew that was a thing about you. And when I heard you for the first time, I was just like blown the fuck away. Dude, the whole verses, the chorus, it's literally stuck in my head. Like I literally hum it and sing it all the time. Even when I don't listen to songs, it's like that shit is so catchy, and it's so fun. Yeah. Like, it's so upbeat, it's so happy. That's just like, I love it, bro. There's like this is something that I'm looking forward to seeing you do a lot more in your future projects.
Hell yeah! I'm glad you like that song. That was like, also thanks for liking my vocals, because a lot of them were like hit and miss. Because I'm kind of like, I don't know, my vocals are like a weird mix of kind of like pop punk and like, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So like it's not like the normal shit kids are used to be hearing on dubstep. So like a lot of kids like it. That song that you're talking about, the collab with Mantic and yourself and then me on vocals, that shit was fun. That was like, I wrote that shit like literally like 5 minutes. I remember Ryan was, and I also hadn't been able to write in 2 days. I remember that was when me and Ryan were, both of us, we were like down horrendous. So I hop on Discord and Mantic was the only one on here. I was like, what's up? It was like 7 in the morning or something. And we just both couldn't sleep. So I was like, what's good? How are you? He was like, shitty. I was like, okay, cool. Me too. He was like, yeah, okay. Do you want to hear this song I'm working on with the homie? You, obviously. And he played it for me, and he was like, I don't even think I let the drop hit. I just like asked him, I got an idea. He was like, sure, I'll send you a download. So like, I think before I even took the download off this computer, I had written verse already. And the verse was also like kind of like a little jab at Ryan, because he was like going through a bunch of shit. but like I was also like going through some very simple shit at the time, so it was like real easy.
Yeah.
But then I recorded it real quick, sent him an idea. I was like, if you like, right away, he was like, yo, definitely send it. And then I thought that was about to be it, but then later that night,
Yeah.
it was like 4 a.m, so it was like less than 24 hours later. But I just couldn't sleep again, and he was on Discord again,
Mm.
and he was like, "Yo, can you do me another verse?" And I just did another one, like again, like just so quick. I think I wrote that one again in like 5. Just because whatever reason, like that melody that you guys had already, that was it that like was able to click for me that day, and I was just like, "Oh, I instantly have an idea of what I could do with this." But I was like auditioning beats. I remember like for like that entire week, like over and over again, just listening to shit, and I was like, I got no ideas, like zero for any of these. So that was cool how that one came together. It was fun. It was
No,
very easy.
definitely a fun one, bro. I fucking love it, bro. I just cannot wait when we have the chance to release it, bro, because it's like it's something that, you know, it's different. And I feel, and I told this to Ryan, like I feel like this is a song that only us can play it. This is not a song that anybody can just go ahead and dabble and play it. I mean, they can go ahead and try to play in their sets, but I feel like it makes more sense for us to play it around. It makes it much more unique and more exclusive to our flavor, and it shows them like, you know, we do this as well, you know, and that's just our take of melodic dubstep, you know, and it's different, completely different than what you normally will listen to. And I'm happy that we jump on board on that shit, man. I'm just, you know, I'm just happy. I'm just happy overall, brother.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I'm stoked for that one.
Absolutely, bro. And let me ask you, do you actually have ever done any private tutoring sessions
No,
or
I
any
don't
side
really.
projects?
No, I don't be tutoring and shit like that. I
What?
don't be like, bro, I taught myself how to do all this shit myself. So
Mm.
like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So if you about to pay me money to teach you how to do something, if I was paying for somebody to teach me how to do something, I would expect a better teaching than being like, this is all what I do. I'm not entirely fucking sure why I do it. It's just
Mm.
what I figured out works for me. So I don't feel like I'm like technically, I shouldn't be teaching. If you want to like come kick it casually in the studio or some shit, like, yeah,
Mm.
fucking, and you're my homie, yeah. But like, I ain't trying to take some kid's money on the internet and like, do this just because I do it. I can't
Right.
tell you how or why you should do it or when you should do it, but fucking do your thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, the answer is no. I did a couple like with cymatics, I would do project file walkthroughs. So I
Mm.
just 2 hours, I just opened my whole because then it was like it was chill. I could just straight up be like, this is what I can do. You can see what I did here.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did this shit. Like I fucked around for 9 hours and then it sounded good. So
Yeah.
but like I can't be all scientific as fuck with shit. I'm not like, we were saying AU5 who like I can tell you everything there is to know about engineering and like
Yeah.
all the buzzwords and all the cool shit. Like I'll just be like, yeah, I don't know, you want to make my shit? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Were you definitely part of that whole Cymatics Academy shit?
Yeah, I did those walkthroughs on the Academy FM, and then I would do like song feedbacks where like kids would send in their shit,
Damn, that's
and I would be
fire.
like, yo, this is sick.
And what went down, like how did it all started going about? Say, hey, we're about to do this whole masterclass for people to hook in and whatnot.
Yeah, I remember they just like kind of hit me up right when it kind of took off, and then was like, it was always so chill. They were like, do you want to work for us for a bit? And I was like, sure, I'll do some. And I always just like the cymatics dudes, like from like I appreciated them putting me on when they did. So I was just like, yeah, I'm down to do this and make a little money as well. So it was good working with them.
Were you able to meet or talk to some of the people that also work in Cymatics? Like for example, Kyle Company or Wooly Adam,
I was always like,
Lane.
I was talking to those dudes like before the cymatics
Oh,
shit.
really?
Yeah, like those guys were all like I've been doing this shit a long time. Like I was around way before, the companies and the woolies
The
and the
Carolyn
shit like that. So
Castles.
they came
Yeah.
they came after me. So like yeah, like they were all at one point seeing them smaller artists than me. But they obviously are fucking, monsters now. I don't really like be frequently in touch with them as much, but they all know like I've been doing this shit a really long time.
Right.
Sure, but it's crazy to see like all those dudes be as big as they are now.
But they all came from Icon, those guys.
Yeah, a bunch of them did. I know Kyle went to Icon. I don't think Willie did, but
I think what's his name? Phase One's name. Fuck, I keep forgetting his name. I know Lane, Careless Castle. He was around that time as well.
I don't know that dude.
Oh, Lane, Careless Castle. He was a Dare.
Careless Castle. Oh, a Dare.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he has a new name called Careless Castle.
Oh, that's right. He did do that. Yeah. Adair was sick. Yeah, I used to talk to him all the time. He was making great music. He did all the cymatic shit too for a little bit.
Yeah, he actually, thanks to Nitty, he hooked me up with Lane, and he actually teach me more about mixing and mastering and sound design and all that shit. I was just like very grateful to all the stuff that he has ever done to me. So I was just like, yo, like my level was like right here, and you just took it like right here. I mean, thanks to him, I managed to get another release on dubstep.net on my own.
Oh hell yeah.
So that was like a huge accomplishment for me as well. And I was just like grateful.
No
that it was, dope. What has there any been like a favorite project that you've ever worked with that you say like, holy shit, this was by far my favorite one that I've ever done up to now?
That's a good question. I got a few like things for different reasons. Probably like my favorite release in terms of like, or just some shit that like I'm really proud of is like if you hit my Spotify, my like big or just anywhere, my biggest song account.
Right.
That one for me is just like one of my biggest W's. I feel like for a bunch of reasons because first of all, like that song was done just me and Rico had been homies for a while. We had met a couple times.
Right.
I met him when I played with Spag Hetty at Minneapolis, and I also met him another time. We had met a couple times IRL. He had always been like really good.
Right.
I also don't really be like vibing with that many people on like a good level. He kicked it. He was always like real as fuck. So then like when I did hit him up to do, yeah, dude, like we've been homies for a minute. We did the record. It was supposed to go on my EP at the time because I was in a deal. It was supposed to go with this project. The label ended up like passing on the entire project. They were like,
oh damn,
but they don't like any of these, and like we're gonna drop you from the label deal. So I was like really fucking bummed at the time, and I ended up like scrapping the entire project except this one with Rico. I was like, yo, I really think this like song will do well. Like I really think it was also like I'd been doing pretty much nonstop dubstep, but I was like a mid-tempo track because I haven't done this in forever. And I remember like I was out at dinner and I was like, I listened to Reptile by Skrillex on the way there. And I was like, man, I used to love this shit so much. I'm gonna go home and make a song like this. Like if you listen to Reptile and then you'll hear there's like very much an influence from there. But so yeah, me and Rico did this song and I was like, yo, the label passed on, which fucking sucks. But like you still down to do this? Like fuck it. I think this will do well. And then we put it out and it's still like I think it's got almost like 5 million, got almost 5 streams now on Spotify.
Yo.
Really, like it really did just like crazy well. Like the amount of people who just know me from that song, like, and like there was zero bullshit on any of it, like, which is like my favorite part about it. Like it was a record that was done like not because, you know, it was like, oh, this guy's popping or like this will be a good look or for any reason.
Right.
It was like we were legitimately like two homies that fucked with each other. And then like we also just like there was no bullshit with splits or no shit. We was like, yo, we're doing this 50-50. Like there's no like fucking around with like whose name is whatever. Like Inf1n1te and Rico act like it was a full collab thing, 50-50 split, like everything. Nobody's getting fucked around here.
Right.
So it was just like, it was just really, I mean, it still is. I'm still happy that that's just like one of my, or no, definitely like the best release I've ever done. Was a completely like independent after the label was like, no, I don't think that this is going to do well. And it was like, it was with like my dude who's like we still be real as fuck with each other. And he also like, he getting his money. No, there was
That's
no susness
right.
with the release, which like, so that shit, that's the kind of shit that I like doing, like making shit with my friends for the right reasons and then having to do.
That's dope, bro. That's fucking dope to hear that, man. I'm happy for you, and obviously, I'm happy to hear that it all turned out the way it's supposed to be. You know, it all worked out. It all worked out because that's the universe itself was telling you, like, dude, just do it, you guys, because this is how it is, and it's gonna work out. And bam, dude, actions speak louder than words, man. It tells you right there. And and because you were so passionate about this project itself, I'm very curious to how was your creative process in doing these type of projects that you do on a regular basis.
I mean, so many songs are done differently for that specific song. Like,
Mm,
I dead ass remember, like, I left dinner when I sat down there. I was like, yo, I want to make a song kind of like Reptile when I get home.
yeah,
So I left. I'm pretty sure I wrote the entire idea of it that night. And I sent it to Rico and was like, hey, like, are you down?
to do
Yo,
it.
sure. Like, and he also, like, he only had one thing to knock out. So I think he got me vocals within like a week or something, which is normally even like most dudes be fucking taking forever with that shit. So
Yeah,
that specific song, like we had it rap pretty quickly, which was great. This shit be happening to me all the time now. Like there's dudes who like I sent vocals to back in August
mm,
this year, and they're like, I'm like, yo, are we working on this song? Like, or what? Yeah, get into it.
yeah,
Busy, which is cool. I get it. Like everybody be busy, but that also like that really does kill a lot of like the whole
vibe.
process for me.
Yeah,
Like there's nothing like, and I also like, I love working with people over the internet and shit. That's cool. But like, there's nothing better than like, and you can do it like over a screen as well. But like working with someone and like you work on it and it gets like done like in that moment rather than like between a string of 8 emails. Like if you're actually like together, like whether it's over the screen, but like, or like two dudes in the studio, or like you got Shorty over in the studio, you're recording some shit. Like you actually do that shit like in real time and it like gets worked on in real time. Like that's my favorite shit. When you actually just be straight vibing back and forth with people,
yes,
like in that. I mean, but like
yes,
again, it's great. Some people don't like working that way. They prefer the like back and forth, so or whatever. But for me, like that shit, or even if it's just like a quick process of like
mm,
a span of 3 days where it's like back and forth, you send somebody something, there's still like that quick excitement and like, you know, like I said, that moment, whether that's like a few days, it's just like, you know, you had that period of time where like you were so angry, you were like,
yeah.
okay, like let's go. Like this shit is turning out fucking sick. Like let's get it done.
See that was my one of my biggest gripes when it comes to collaborating with people. I've sent so many projects to so many people, including people that we know in the industry, established. And bro, it's ridiculous that I have to wait for them for a month or two, you know, to say, "Yo, like, has anything done? Like, are you working? I know you're busy, but you know, I was excited for this because you pulled me out." Because you heard the song, you say you want to work on it, then I'm like, all right, then work on it. Don't just put me in the back burner and decide when to. And I hate when they dumb that to me. That is like I'm not collaborating with anybody anymore. You know, until Mantic show up out of the nowhere and say like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and 3 days later, boom, he has the song. I'm like, all right, faith in humanity has been restored on me. I'm only gonna
Yeah,
send collabs on him and him only and you.
yeah,
I'm only sending it to you guys because you're the only people that are actually like, boom, already did my part. Oh, okay, shit. Let me just do my part as well. I
yeah.
don't have to worry about like in a week or a month to hear you guys back and say, hey, you know, here's the collab, or like, oh yeah, I forgot we had a collab. No, I don't have to worry about it. That's why like, yeah, Yeah, bro. I totally feel you, bro. And I hate it because that also kills the vibes. There, and because of it, I pull out some of those projects and say, like, all right, I don't know when I'm releasing this, honestly. I don't know when. But you know what? I'm finishing it. I'm finishing it. Because I ain't not gonna wait for somebody to decide when to actually work on it. And it's like, all right, let's do something. It's like, nah, you miss your opportunity, bro. I'm all in on this one.
Yeah, I used to get like really annoyed with it, but now I just like I get it. I just like for me personally,
Right.
I do love when it, there is that like quick, back and forth or some type of like you're feeding off each other like in that real time. But I do get it too. Like sometimes a song comes, yo, hell yeah, we really did that shit. I just like for me, I prefer when it does. And I've been on the other end of that too. Like I've been like late getting to shit as well. So it's just great when those opportunities do like happen.
Yeah.
For me, like I love that shit. I love having someone in the studio like to work on something with me. Like I'll take that shit over the internet any day.
That's fucking dope. That's
to me, it's a lot. You're gonna get a lot better project if something.
I agree.
Get down in the room and you can just fuck around for an hour.
Yeah.
Hey, like let's do some shit.
I agree, bro. Now you did mention that you sometimes had writer's block. I was actually gonna ask, like, do you actually believe in writer's block?
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, anyways, it's a pretty simple concept.
Mm-hmm.
I'm either on or I'm not on. Me, most of the time is like I can usually like write like lyrics and shit, but like as far as just like wanting to or like recording and stuff or like these or it's very much a it just happens for me. No reason why, and I also don't have to except just take a break for a bit. Like shit just happens for anybody who's creative, unfortunately. Some people are incredibly blessed and that shit just don't happen to them. They just will fucking, bowl of ideas and creativity, which is great. But some people just I feel like it's normal to hit blocks and be not able to do shit.
I just don't know how those people are managed to do it. Like if I do hit writer's block, it's like GG, man. This is like I don't see you until next time. When I see you when I see you, you know. But I do always see people that actually tell me is like, oh, just do something different. Like if you're having a writer block with dubstep, do trap or do house or do another genre that's not dubstep, and that actually helps you out. Organize your samples, organize your shit. Like sound design for a bit. Just like do a little bit of sound designing. That actually helps too. Listen to different feedbacks, or if not, then step away from it and then just do something that you normally will do on a regular basis, like go out of the movie theaters, go hang out, or play a little bit of video games or shit like that. Something that takes your mind off, and then bang, once you got it, you got it. Let me
I feel you on that.
Let me ask you this, and this is something that it may be a little bit controversial, but because you are a great sound designer, I need to ask you this. When it comes to sound design, do you believe it's a luxury or a necessity?
I feel like it's neither of those things, really. I feel like it's whether you want a sound design or not, shit don't matter. I've seen this debate recently on Twitter.
Really?
And it's something I've never really given a fuck about. I feel like obviously dubstep is an incredibly like
heavy
sound design focused thing. But what did you say the options were? Luxury or
you believe for it's a luxury or necessity when you're sound designing?
Well, okay, I guess it is like, your song gotta have sound design, but as far as luxury go, I feel like, I take my answer back. I'd be just high as shit. It's definitely necessary. I feel like if your song got no sound, that shit ain't gonna be good. Or are you more so talking about like the process from a producer standpoint with sound design?
I say it with the process of a producer standpoint, because
well, then do whatever you want to do. It all depends like what you're down like everyone else. Then grab a splice sample pack. Don't change a fucking thing about it, and put your songs out. Like if that makes you happy, if that's what you're going for, do your thing. You know, if you want to have a huge impact on this scene and be like the to like very like clearly you can't mistake their sound design for anybody else, then maybe don't go that route and like, you know, learn the ins and outs on how to make like this really cool, unique sounding shit.
Yeah.
But if that's what you want to do, then take that route. But also if you know, if you can still make a great song without it having the craziest dubstep sound design you've ever heard in your entire life.
Right.
But that's also just kind of like a debate I've never really like. I try to stay out of shit like that because like I just be listening to shit, and if it sounds good, it sound good. And like I kind of like if I hear a sample from a pack or some shit, I'm never ever gonna think any type of way about that. Like I'll be like, this song sounds great. If I've heard this sample in a million other songs, it still sound great right now. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if they made that 2-second thing. I don't care. And if someone's like, yo, his music's amazing. Like I heard he mostly uses samples. I'd be like, I don't care. I really try to remove myself from like being the producer all the time. I'll be like, I don't care how he made that. Like if shit sound great, I love that shit. Like it's all good. And I did like all my own sound design and shit. So like I was that guy who never used samples ever, but like I don't give a fuck. Do your thing. Really. Like make some shit. Make some music.
That's
if it starts popping off or like you start going viral just from using samples or whatever.
Yeah.
Good for you. Like impressive. I don't care. Like shit.
There is no right or wrong with this question. There's no right or wrong answer, honestly. And I ask this on everyone because everybody has a different answer, a different opinion about it. And I don't push back on it. I was like, yeah. The only thing I will say as a producer, I always want to make sure that my stuff sounds original as much as possible, or at least my sound doesn't associate or resembles to another established artist. Like for example, if I slap a Virtual Riot sample, you know, and slap it and it sounds dope, everybody fucks with it, people listen to it, hey, they fuck with it, but it's like, but it kind of reminds me of Virtual Riot. See, that's not what I'm trying to aim at. Like, I'm not trying to sound like Virtual Riot. I'm trying to sound like Wolv. Like, I don't want you to associate with me with someone else. I want you to associate me with just me, and because it's like, oh shit, Wolv did this gnarly shit. So in that same concept, if I take a Virtual Riot sample and I reshape it, resound it, resample it, and put a lot of shit that I destroyed the original sound and make it sound even bigger and doper.
Yeah.
That's where people will be like, oh, wait a minute. Who does this sound like? Like, it doesn't sound like anybody. It doesn't sound like a Virtual Riot. It sounds like, damn, this guy did the most original shit ever. So I don't feel like it's a necessity in the fact that it should be the first thing you should learn. Like, I feel like as a producer, you should know how to song structure is your number one, mixing, mastering, and then probably sound designing. Probably music theory should be in between one of those, because definitely you need to have a good ears and good scales on the notes, because if not, you'll be hitting the wrong notes and you'll be like, what the fuck is this? You know, like something's off out of this. But I feel like it should be there. It shouldn't be. I don't feel it's a luxury, but a lot of house producers says this a lot, that it's not a luxury. It's a luxury for them because they're house guys. Like, they don't actually really, their projects is not more about sound design. They're more about presets and plucky sounds and chords, you know, and melodies. And then the bass, if the bass sounds dope, then, you know, that's what it is. And the bass is always the same bass. It's always a sine wave, you know, and they just, you know, change the patterns or wobble or add little effects, and that's what it is, you know? So like, yeah,
I see you.
Like I'm in that point of view, you know, that's my point of view when it comes to sound design, you know, like I don't feel it's really a necessity that it's the first thing, but at the same time, as a bass producer, it may be different from other genres. As a bass producer, you should definitely consider it as one of your top priorities, because it's the only way for you to stand out from others. It's the only way for you to be different and have something like unique from others. Hey, like throw a sample, that's fine. Like you can chop a sample and put it here in the first growl and shit. Like, and it sounds dope. It sounds dope. Fucking go. Congratulations. Do it. You know? But I do appreciate more originality above anything else, you know? Even though if it sounds dope, it sounds dope, but I do appreciate more the originality. Like at least demonstrate me that you did the work, that you didn't half-ass it, that you actually like put in the time and you actually did some the gnarliest shit ever, you know, and that you like, all right, I did this, you know? That's what I stand about it.
Yeah, for sure.
We got few more questions and we can wrap this up right here, my man.
Gang.
So this actually is, I don't know if anybody has ever asked you this, but I'm going to ask you this.
That was, what was it? I took that from a movie back in like 11.
Really?
Book Perks of Being a Wallflower. Yeah. It was just like they used that word. There's like a line in that movie that I really.
What was that movie again?
Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's a good, it's a book. They made it into a movie. It's got like Emma Stone and shit. Or no, not Emma Stone, Emma Watson. And some other. Yeah, it's good shit. I'll fuck with it.
Oh shit, I gotta check that out. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's good.
So that's where you got the name for it?
Yeah, that's what it was taken from.
All right, no more backstories. That's all I needed.
Yeah, that's a quick, easy one. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, I was literally expecting some backstory shit because I'm usually used to every person coming over and I asked the same questions like, why you choose this name? They give me this dope backstory. You're the only one that says like, oh yeah, the movie. That's it.
That's a quick and easy one. There's no crazy story to that shit.
That kind of actually sounds like my story. Mine is very simple. I was passing by. I was going on my way to a club with my homie, and then there was one of the signs about one of the universities campus that are down here, and one of them had the name MDC Wolfson campus, like the actual wolf and the like son as a child son. So I said myself, I was like, oh, that's a fucking dope name.
That's hard.
I want to name myself Wolfson, but I'll tell you what, I'll do a spin so that way I'm unique, you know. Change the F for a V and then the O for a U. It was still spelled the same way, Wolfson. I was born from there.
Gang, that's hard.
Buzz.
Booze.
So up to now, what has been your greatest accomplishment?
Greatest accomplishment? I mean, just the fact that I don't really have like a single like show moment type thing, but just the fact that I was able to, I mean, again, I'm still like coming back to like living, you know, as well as I was before the pandemic with this shit. But like when I started doing this shit, like I'd never ever not have a real job and like tour like consistently and make money from playing shows like all over. I'd be States or going to China or some shit. So I was just like, that was my biggest accomplishment, just that I was in a place where that shit was happening. So that's still crazy to me. Like that's fairy tale shit. Anybody who do this music shit gonna have like a million. They ain't gonna do it. So like anybody who like comes out the other side actually doing it is always gonna be like, fuck, I really did that shit.
That's dope. That and tell you what, not many people can accomplish that. You know, it's very hard for a lot, and to be able to maintain themselves from that, you know. And it's one of the things that makes you happy at the end of the day. It's your own passion. That passion is what gets you. You know, that it's the old saying, you know, you do what makes you happy every day, because when you do something that makes you happy every day, you're not really working. It's just you're doing your thing. That's what it is. So
yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I mean, there's like amazing things that come with that. Obviously, it's like becomes a lot more stressful, but still, like, there's nothing better than
right. I mean, like any other job, you know, like there's there's always gonna be some cool stuff, that you're doing that you'll never consider yourself like, oh, I'm in my job, like, nah, it's just you. And there are days in which like, fucking, hey, I'm tired of today. Even though
For
you
sure.
love doing what you're doing, you're just like, fuck, oh, it happens, It's like there's not such a perfect job, that you're not gonna complain about. Even the best ones, even the ones that you love, there's always gonna be something that you're gonna complain about. It's like it happens.
Yeah, for sure.
So right now you said yourself that you're working on an EP right now. So that's what you're currently doing?
No, this EP is done. Like this little dubstep EP coming up at the end of the month. That shit's done. It's just a little thing. It's 2 dubstep tracks. They're both collabs. One of them is with Ryan. The other one is with Kenzie Sway. But that was fun because those were 2 that I just was in the studio doing production on. Like they both have no vocals. I haven't done that in like I think over a year. Put out a record that didn't have. It was fun to just bang those out. They were both also I pretty much had completely done, but it just so happened me and Ryan. Oh no, I sent Ryan the demo, and he did the same shit I did to him that with our song. He was like, "Yo, can I try something with this?" And I was like, "Yo, we've been meaning to get a song together because like I had done vocal,
right?
But I was like, yo, let's make like a dubstep record." So I just sent him that whole song. He finished it, and then the same thing happened with Kenzie Sway. Shout out her. She's fire. But we're talking for a while about working on a song, and I think she just hit me up while I was working on this song that I was pretty much finished. But I was like, yo, if you fuck with this, like, I'll send you the entire thing stemmed, and you can just do whatever you want with it. Because I'd rather like work with you than just put it out myself. So yeah, it's just 2 straight dubstep songs. They're fun. They're cool. They're nothing, they're not gonna change the world, but they're 2 fun, very like old kind of Infinite sounding. So I think kids will fuck with them.
Fire, bro, fire. Well, what are you currently doing, and what do you hope to accomplish for the future?
The biggest thing I'm working on right now, I'm working on my album, which is like not dance music. And that's something I'm working on with Semi, like Brandon. He's producing the whole thing, and it's like all the demos are done. Like I'm done all my shit. Like we got like 25 songs done. So now we're in the process of like most of them are still like not fully there, but all the ideas are laid out. So now we're just like we hopped on a call yesterday and we finished 5 of them, like just kind of locking things into place. So me and him are just going back and forth right now, like turning all of those like finished ideas into actual like full songs and shit, which is great. It's just him working on here on Discord, and I just tell him like, yo, let's try this or let's try this. But it was dope. I mean, I just sent him like we've been working on that for. I mean, I wrote and recorded a bunch of these last summer,
right?
But then I hit him up in the fall and was like, yo, I'm looking for a homie to do it. And like, are you game? And he was like super on board because we had already done like an EP together. That was like very dubstep focused. So none of these are all just like crazy different shit. Like I'm having like I'm really, really excited to get it out there. And like, there's so many different styles and genres on this. So, and there's just a huge amount of them we're going to do. I think I'm trying money for the album, and then we're going to have another 5.
Yo,
it should be fun. I'm excited.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I know Brendan is fucking dope with his shit, man. So I can't wait to hear your final project, guys. I really can't.
I'm really excited. He go crazy with the production. Shout out Semi.
Yeah, Semi. I got one last question and we can wrap it up afterwards. But before I do ask this one last question, is there like anything that you want to ask me about? Like, is there anything that you're like curious about that you want to tell me or talk to me or ask me or anything?
Honestly, man, not really. You kind of hit like all the shit I was about to ask you, like, but it kind of mine sounds like you had a lot of the same
stuff.
Upstep.net, and like we rolling with the same homies and shit now.
Yeah.
Plus you answered all the shit about where you from and stuff. So I mean, besides what you got working on, besides your EP, you already told me that.
Yeah, I mean my EP, it's still in the words, but I already have the names of the songs, and I already know what angles am I going with it, and I know which song is which, so I already got that in the words. I'll start doing that right after I finish editing all these podcasts. But what I'm currently doing right now, for the most part, is this podcast game, because this is what I love the most. I love talking to amazing people like yourself and Brandon and Ryan and others. I love having conversations with you guys. That's what I'm passionate the most. So I'm more happy that I'm doing this than anything else that I've ever done in my life. This is
Hell yeah.
by far the happiest thing I've ever done, more than making music. And that takes a lot, because I've been DJing for over 15 years, and music is the most where I feel the most alive. Every time I DJ, I feel like, wow, I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to be here. So for me to say like I love more podcasting than DJing than making music, it has to come a lot. So I'm just so happy about this, man, and I'm just looking forward for many, many more conversations with you and with the rest of the gang once more, and with many others that I have yet to talk to. We're gonna end this with this last question. Let's say that you're walking down the street and all of a sudden a UFO comes out of nowhere and comes to you, say, "Yo, Infinite, we need your help, man, because you and only you can help us with our cause, man." And you're like, all right, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. But he says, but before you go, we don't know how long you're gonna be out there, So before you leave, here's a piece of paper. Write 3 pieces of advice that you'll give to someone. What are those 3 pieces of advice?
3 pieces of advice? I'm about to leave the planet. Oh shit. Advice. Is this like just general advice? I mean, fuck it. I'm gonna leave just 3 things I'm gonna tell someone.
Like however you want to leave it, whether it's general life advice, music production and advice, or
oh no, fuck the last thing I'm about to tell somebody if I'm about to leave this earth. Shit, I'm about to tell them some shit that's actually important.
Yeah.
I'll tell someone, I'll be like, yo, listen up, bucko. Be kind to people. It's literally the easiest shit in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Also, every single person for the most, well, no, not every, but you just have no idea what anybody has got going on. Like, you don't know if, you being kind to them is going to them like that, their life is not the worst thing in the world. It takes nothing to not be a fucking prick. And like, I see so many times people will choose to just not be half decent. So that's the first thing. Just be kinder. This shit's really easy. Second piece of advice. I don't know. Honestly, no. Just don't. It's like nobody's ever gonna fully listen to advice, because like it's incredibly rare that you can actually do this. But like, don't care what other people think. But that doesn't mean like don't pretend what other people think. But realistically, you obviously do care what everybody thinks. But like, if I could instill, like if I had a kid or like some shit, the thing that I would instill in them like every single day would be like do your thing, but like as long as you're not hurting anybody, I would drill it into their head how important. Do not give a fuck about what people think. Like, do shit that you like, do shit that make you happy. Like, if you want to be weird as fuck, be weird as fuck. Long as like you good and do whatever makes you happy. Like, and try to just like, because if you can build someone up, if you can build like enough confidence, or just you kind of just consistently remind them like it's cool to do what you want. Like if you I feel like most people, if they genuinely like just did the things they loved, they would always like become incredibly successful, because if they were just driven by like caring about shit that they love and care about, rather than like caring about fucking what everyone else thinks.
Yes.
I'm rambling again, but like,
no, you're good.
Like, there's a ton of shit that I don't do because I'm worried about what the internet's going to think or whatever. But if I can give advice to other people, that don't mean that like I take it.
Right.
But yeah. So be kinder. Don't give a fuck about what people think. I don't know. The third one. I guess it's not really just be kind, but like just kind of go above and beyond to like be there for your people. Like legitimately check in with the people who like mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
Like just make more of an effort, because I feel like everybody can do that. Make more of an effort to like be there for the people like they're with.
Yeah.
It's super easy to get wrapped up in your own shit. Everyone's got shit going on, but like I don't know, that's kind of a lame one, but
Nah, it's good. I'll take it. I'll definitely take it, man. And I'll add one to it. I'll say be humble.
Oh, for sure.
Be humble with everything that you have and every opportunity that it's ever brought upon, and be humble with everyone else. You know, little that people know that being humble will take you farther than you can ever imagine. Just it goes along with being nice as well.
Oh, for sure. That's always been easy. Just like everybody's a person. There's no reason to treat people
like shit. Yeah.
How successful you are, or what you've done, like whatever. Just leave that shit.
Yeah, bro. Like we have already too much negativity in this world. Like, come on. Let's just be nice to each other, you know. Let's make a change for once in a while, you know. Yeah, it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice, you know, at all.
Exactly. Shit's easy.
It's easy. Just do it. Practice it. That's it. That's it.
Straight up.
Dude, thank you so much for coming over to the show. It was an honor and privilege for you to come over and have this chat with me, man. I was looking forward to it, man. And bro, it did not disappoint, man. I'm just overall ecstatic and happy that I was able to finally talk to you face to face, and now we can have much better conversations down the road.
Oh hell yeah, man! Thank you so much for having me. This was lovely.
Of course, man. You're a friend of the show, so obviously, whenever you feel like, hey, we should do another one and let's kick it, let me know. Let's do it. Before we leave, plug yourself out. Let the people know where they can follow you and what they can expect from you in the future.
Hell yes. So yeah, you can find me Infinite Music on everything. Coming out, I got a bunch of singles and stuff, but the album gonna be out later this year. And yeah, it's gonna be a whole bunch of shit, lots of music. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited as well, man. Thank you very much for coming over to the show, and thank you guys for listening. And remember, every week is a brand new episode with a brand new topic. So always remember to like and subscribe for your weekly episodes at youtube.com/The Lone Wolv Podcast or lonewolfpod.com. That's Lone, WOLV pod.com all together. When you can check all my latest episodes, you can also follow the audio version at SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts at The Lone Wolv Podcast or Wolv1n1te Music. You can check on all those social medias, and you can definitely check all the latest episodes. Comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts. Share your experiences. If you guys got a certain topic that you want me or Infinite to cover, please let us know in the comments down below. And we'll do our best to talk about it on the next episode. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys at the next one. Peace.